Ladies and gentlemen, gather close, because the tent just got twisted. Introducing Wax, the wild card of the circus, the contradiction in motion, the one who flips the script while juggling the spectacle. Wax doesn't just perform, he destabilizes. One moment he's the ringmaster of chaos, the next he's the sad clown with receipts. He's the walking paradox, part satire, part sabotage, all strategy. Whether he's soaring from the trapeze of truth or sipping banana peels under the spotlight, a forensic breakdown of the circus itself. His costume, a patchwork of everyone else's lies. The liar in the spotlight. He's not the act. He's the accident. Wax enters the circus not as a performer, but as the distortion, fabricating drama, twisting timelines and selling spectacle as truth. His costume, a patchwork of borrowed credibility. His trick, misdirection masked as confession. He juggles contradictions, drops receipts and calls it performance, but the archive sees through it. Wax isn't misunderstood, he's manufactured. Every tear, every tantrum, every whoops is scripted. He's the clown who cries on cue, the ringmaster of revision, the liar who calls it law. So when Wax takes the stage, the real show begins. Welcome to Unicorn Spectacle, where protein bars go to cool and ego goes to Mars. In this corner, Built Bars flexing their trade secrets like it's the final round of Shark Tank. And in the other, Glue Unicorn galloping in with Clark-based sass and a food scientist who allegedly packed more than just his lunch. What's at stake? Not world peace. Not the cure for anything. Just the sacred art of making chewy rectangles taste like dessert without melting into sadness. Allegations fly. Unicorns cry, lawyers bill. Bill Barr says their magical formula was stolen. Blue Unicorn says, LOL, we're just vibing. Meanwhile, the public watches two snack rounds fight like it's the Hunger Games Protein Edition.
She's gonna have to get braces and pull those teeth apart over the course of a year or so, and then get an implant afterwards.
Well, she has. I know Blueface personally has went and had that corrected. I don't.
The internet really said, let's ignore global warming, the economy, and spiritual warfare because Christian's dental situation is the true crisis of our time.
I don't know what it is she does now, but
no,
every now and then you'll see it's
there's no tooth.
But then you see it's a tooth.
Right, but no, you tooth just for cosmetic purposes, but an actual implant means they have to put in an actual,
so you're
like...
saying because the gum line will start collapsing. So well, she has a removable.
A removable is nothing, that's just cosmetic. That's not doing anything. An actual implant you can't remove. It's a permanent tooth at that point.
Okay, so you're saying aspect of it that'll cause it collapse because
because
if she's putting a tooth there, it's going to keep the other teeth from
but she's not keeping it there permanently.
She's very comfortable,
no tooth.
I remember the gimmick. It was kind of like the big baby thing.
How did she lose that tooth to begin with?
Geez, I probably don't even want to know this story. Season 1, COVID 2020, I believe. Blueface says I'm going to do this Blue Girls Club or whatever. So we look on, somehow ends up on the phone, or while Blueface was on the phone with his girlfriend, with his woman, his baby mama, with Jaden, she starts to say some disrespectful things, right? So at that point in time, I knew that Blue was working with this, doing this new thing he was doing. Jaden pops up, her and her sister-in-law, Blue's sister. I'm talking about in like 20 minutes. 20 minutes, Jaden and this sister-in-law's coming through the door. Now in the living room, this life-size statue of a unicorn, right? Side the wall. When Krishan seen them come through the door, she she took off running. She's looking at them, and when she turns, boom, she runs into the unicorn. And the unicorn knocked her tooth out.
So it wasn't even a person. It was a
unicorn.
object.
She's the only one probably in life that has had her tooth knocked out by a unicorn.
No one could claim that outside of her.
What the fuck?
How does your tooth?
I mean, because I don't think unicorns exist. So it ain't like a damn kangaroo where some people didn't challenge the kangaroo. And that's how it happened. So Blue kind of felt responsible because it was his girlfriend and sister that came by the house and shouldn't have came by the house. He understood why they came because whatever she said. So he took her to get, way back then he took her to get it fixed, but she started.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner in the Tooth Olympics, and it's the unicorn, folks. Let's recap the chaos. Jaden Alexis. I knocked that tooth out. Blueface, early version. Yeah, Jaden did it. Blueface, patch update. Actually, it was the unicorn. Whack 100. Oh, definitely the unicorn. Probably wearing boxing gloves. Krishan Rock. Breaker of ties, Queen of Clarity. It was the unicorn. The tooth currently in witness protection, refusing interviews. So what do we have? Jaden swinging, Blueface glitching, Whack narrating, Krishan declaring, and the unicorn floating above it all, glitter hooves and petty receipts. Sarding dental drama with a side of sparkle. Final score? Jaden, 1 claim, 0 confirmation. Blueface, 2 versions, 0 consistency. Unicorn, 1 tooth, 1 trophy. Krishan, 1 tiebreaker, 1 mic drop. And a winner, Mola Dinner. The unicorn gallops off with the crown, the tooth, and probably a sponsorship deal with Colgate. And yes, the rare celestial event, the truth comet streaking across the sky of nonsense. Blink and you'll miss it. Because that might have been the only moment of honesty in this entire production. But fear not, the curtain rises once again on our favourite genre. Manufactured drama, season infinity. Now, as we wade through the glittery fog of fake receipts and emotional gymnastics, we must ask the sacred question, who's the ringmaster of this circus? Who's holding the glitter mic and cue cards behind the scenes, whispering, cry here, gaslight there? Now spin. Let's proceed, popcorn in hand, sarcasm fully loaded. The leader awakes, probably wearing a crown made of contradictions and a sash that reads CEO of Chaos.
Either you gonna hang in there with her.
Either or, like, what is this? Like,
What
to
is
me,
the
it's just
thing,
like
though?
Ike and Tina type of situation.
Definitely they done went through some shit. And they gonna continue to go through some shit. Right? This is when you dealing with somebody authentic as a Krishan Rock, and I can say she's authentic because this motherfucker ain't changed. Certain shit I thought, okay, this motherfucker just putting on the act, motherfucker acting crazy, this motherfucker high as fuck. Nah, that's who she is, right? Either you gonna hang in there with her, right? And work with her on bettering herself or finding ways for her to know how to turn it on, turn it off. Jason Lee, he said, yo, Whack, I need a Blueface Krishan Rock interview. I said, bro, you ain't ready for that. He said, Nick, I'm Jason Lee, Hollywood Unlocked. You got me fucked up. I said, all right, we be there in 3 days. I brought, and y'all gonna see it, Krishan Rock gave that nigga the run of his life. I said, bro, I told you, that's just her. That's who she is. Like, she no filter. She gonna say how she feel it. She gonna see it how she see it. Fuck what the world talking about. So what you been doing like that? This how I'm doing it. And this nigga, he got the heart enough and the patience enough to try to deal with it. Which now, first I thought it was a play. Now I can honestly say, no, I think it's just straight love. Well, I wish we need to get rocking here too. So you gotta understand, there's like phases to this shit, right? There's like maybe like 1, 2. First phase is, I totally disagree with him doing the shit he did with his house, right? One of his houses, right?
Cue dramatic music and imagine the slow zoom. Because apparently every conversation about Blueface and Krishan needs a full Shakespearean prologue, 3 acts, and a plot twist, narrated by Morgan Freeman. Wack's whole vibe is, let me set the scene. As if we're not already knee-deep in stale popcorn and recycled Instagram lives. So, we're not watching Othello, we're watching Othello. Early chapters, Wack was throwing verbal folding chairs like it was WWE. Now he's talking about phases? What is this, a lunar cycle? Did he spiritually evolve or just realize the internet loves a good contradiction? Maybe he fake crashed out like a stunt double in a soap opera. Dramatic fall, no injury, just vibes. And the scene setting? It's giving, I'm about to say something profound, and it's just a remix of last week's rant with a sprinkle of, I'm not saying names, but you know who. We don't need a scene. We need subtitles and a fast forward button. Anyway, popcorn stale, the Coloss recycled, and the only phase we're in is phase confused but entertained.
The Bad Girls Club. So that's phase one. Rock's on phase one.
47 minutes and 21 seconds later, and we're still stuck in let me explain the backstory mode. Sir, this isn't a Ken Burns documentary. It's influencer drama with a side of delusion. At this point, the last phase better be enlightenment or a surprise plot twist where Wack turns into a monk and renounces all commentary. But no, he's still yakking. He's still setting scenes like he's auditioning for Law and Order, Spectacle Unit. And yes, someone please, the soda refill, preferably with extra ice and a mute button for Wack's monologue. We're parched, we're tired, and we've aged 3 internet years. It waits for him to land the point. Next time, we skip the whole saga and just drop a contradiction tagged meme. Titles, Phase 47, still talking.
He had court date 6, 7 in the morning, no bail. I needed a legal team to go in there and get him a bail. Blase. I literally get to Vegas, get to the courtroom, lay my seat back in the range and wait for the court bill to open. Get to fly the bail bondsman in town from LA so we can set bail. And phase 4 kicked in when my mind started to change is when I looked up and Rock was walking in the courtroom. On that day is when I started to respect her hand.
Cue dramatic zoom. Soft, slow piano plays, and there it is, a single tear rolling down the cheek of the unicorn bobblehead. Because yes, he said it. A moment of truth so rare it should have come with a holographic certificate and a coupon for emotional whiplash. Respect for Krishan's hand, the same hand that's been dragged through more plot twists than a daytime soak. We're in uncharted territory, folks. And Jaden, somewhere in the background, she's doing interpretive dance and a glittery unicorn name thing in her bobblehead like it's a weaponized mood ring. Meanwhile, Wack's crew is busy live streaming the baby's nap schedule for engagement metrics, while Krishan's silence is starting to look suspiciously strategic. Is this a truce, a trade, a Trojan horse in baby beauties? Or maybe brace yourself, Wack isn't the puppet master. Maybe he's just the loudest marionette. Maybe the real leader is the algorithm, or the baby, or the bobblehead. Anyway, this episode's been brought to you by the letter H for her, and the number Q many. Tune in next time when someone accidentally tells the truth again, and we all pretend not to notice. Welp, that's a wrap on today's episode of Spectacle Theatre, the baby, the blunt, and the blabbermouth. Thanks for tuning in to another 15-minute sprint, chaos, contradictions, and saliva-soaked side plots. Rumour has it the Blunt's still doing laps in Jaden Alexis's Spit Olympics. Gold medal in unbothered but moist. Catch you on the flick side where the drama resets, the scripts combust, and Wack's monologue gets a sequel nobody asked for. This has been As the World Turns, the Scripts Get Burned.